Anand is asking a question. Hi ma'am, how to handle a dominant person? I feel powerless even though that person has done wrong but doesn't acknowledge it. Very, very lovely question, Anand, okay? And I'm going to give you a very detailed answer for this. See, every human being born on this planet is born with the same power, okay? Same power. I generally give this example in my 3-day live workshop where I talk about an ant. Have you all seen an ant? An ant climbing on the dining table where there is a small food crumb. And that ant comes, she looks at the food crumb and she realizes that it's too heavy for her to lift. And in no time, you will see more ants coming and picking up that crumb and carrying it and going away, right? Now, all of us are having 3 powers that is given to us by the universe. The first power is the power to desire. The second power is the power to think and collaborate. And third power is power to act. So, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. All of us have given this power and so does this ant. And the ant exercises this power by desiring the crumb. Her Ichha Shakti is there. By, knowing and understanding that it is too heavy for her to lift that crumb. It's a Jnana Shakti that she has to collaborate with somebody. And in no time, when other ants come, she sends the pheromones to the ants and the ants come. And they pick up the crumb and go away. That's the Kriya Shakti. Now, does this ant have the special powers? Like, is she born in a great family or a great geographic location? Or is she a man or a woman? Or the special powers come to her from her history, geography? Nothing, right? These powers are free. And if an ant has this power to do these 3 things, we all have those powers. Right? So we are all born with Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Now, how you exercise these 3 things is very, very important in your life. And if you're not able to exercise these 3 things, there is a reason behind it. Is when you were growing up in your life, there was a crack that came in your space. When you were growing up, the conditioning, the sanskaras or the experiences that you went through created that crack in your space, and that crack is leaking away your power. So first thing first, know that. Hold your solar plexus here right now. It's just below your sternum. If you can see my hand, hold it here. This is a power center. And we all have our solar plexus. That's a 3rd chakra. Root chakra, sacral chakra and solar plexus. The 3rd chakra is your Manipura chakra, which has got your power. All of us have that power. Okay? Now you can start exercising that power by understanding that you already have it. Now, how do you do this? Now, what happens when you're having a conversation with somebody else? See, all of us have a habit because of our sanskar, because of our education system and culture and society, to put people either on a pedestal or to put people on the lower pedestal. Higher pedestal or lower pedestal. We look at people either up, we get infatuated by them and we think, oh, this person is amazing and great. Or we look at the person and say, this person is very bad. Most of us have a judgment of either the person is above us or below us. Now, when the person is below you, you are able to have a conversation with the person knowing that you are the authority. And you don't care what the person's opinions are, judgments are, or what that person feels, etc. But when you have a place where the person is above you, that's where your power center starts getting problematic. That's where you start looking at this person saying, oh my God, this is authority and I can't deal with this right now. Whatever the person is saying is, I'm very scared. Now you see, if you have a challenge and if you feel powerless with a certain kind of a person and a person is dominant, you have to go back in your childhood to see if you had any of the authority figures, either your mother or father, who was a dominant person, whom you could not have a straight conversation with, whom you were always scared of, because as a child, you never felt safe with that person. Emotionally safe, I mean to say, okay? And the environment at home taught you that you're supposed to keep quiet whenever you are in front of this person. Your cope-up mechanism as a child was to shut down, was to hide, so that you don't get the brunt of any of this person's actions. Now, if your childhood's response was to run and hide in uncomfortable situations, when you grow up in adulthood also, you're going to do the same. And if your response as a child was to retaliate or to fight back or to, give back, then as an adult, you will experience that when you are sitting in a boardroom meeting, you will end up speaking something stupid and then you'll regret about it. So understand the first thing. When you feel powerless in front of this dominant person, it's the relationship that you shared with your early caregiver. It could be a mother or father, where you felt powerless at that age, young age. That same young you, Anand, is coming up in front of this, the other person who's dominant. And that younger Anand is wanting to run away. But you know what? In real life, you cannot run away. Neither you can fight. So you have to sit there, and it's like you're pressing an accelerator and brake at the same time of the car. It has to break down. And in that breaking down position, that emotional drain that happens in that situation, you cannot really say anything to this person and you end up keeping quiet. Now, you got to understand that you may have become physically grown up Anand, but maybe there's a younger Anand which is still need to be addressed. So you got to go back to the first event that happened in your life where somebody said something to you, or maybe your repeated events at home when you were younger or at school, where you were bullied or where you were criticized or where you were told that you're not good enough. You got to address that younger Anand. So I'm going to give you an exercise today to do, okay? I want you to do this. I want you to write down as many experiences you remember in your life that you have gone through, where you felt because of somebody in your life, as a child, you felt that you couldn't speak up. You had to keep quiet. You were too scared to speak up. So I want you to write all those events, okay? And remember what age they may have happened. I'm sure you will remember, Anand, this. I know, looking at your question, I can understand that there are multiple such events. Write down all of them and look at what age it has happened. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to stand in front of the mirror and I want you to call that young Anand, whatever the ages that come up in your diary, call that younger Anands one by one, one by one, one by one, and start embracing them. And start telling them that I get you, I understand you, I love you. And forgive yourself for being in every such situation where you could not fight back, where you had to keep quiet, whether you took everything that happened to you, whether it was a physical abuse, whether it was an emotional abuse or a verbal abuse. You had to take it because you were young and you didn't know how to come back, how to say things. Start doing this every single day. Do it for 30 days, Anand, and you'll observe there's a dramatic shift that will come in your space after 30 days. Also, I will tell you something here. At this point of time, it would be a worthy investment to go through a therapy sessions or maybe finding that therapist coach who can help you overcome this challenge permanently. You don't have to live with it. You can always overcome these challenges. It's easier. Just give everybody love to Anand in the chat box so that he feels loved, he feels taken care, he feels protected and safe. Okay?